Alright guys, welcome to another episode of Computer Applications. In today's lesson, we're going to be taking a look at some more of these picture shape icon things as we try to design new pictures inside Google Docs. So the first thing you're going to need to do, go File, Page Setup, set your page to landscape. Hopefully this is pretty standard by this point for you. Once you've got that done though, you're going to want to go Insert, Drawing New, because we're going to be doing some more things with the inbuilt Google Drawing tools. Now, the assignment's going to call for you to insert a cube shape, but I don't want you to necessarily start with that. If you can start with that, that's great. But for most of you, I would say you're probably going to actually want to start with the rectangle shape. All right, so if you go into Shapes, Rectangle, draw your shape. Now, the reason for this is that the rectangle, I think, will be easier for you to size correctly, and I'll show you what I mean here in a minute. So as we drag this shape around, you'll notice that every once in a while we get these little red lines that form. What these red lines say is that, for example, this one here says that we are perfectly centered top and bottom. This one here says that we're perfectly centered left and right. So our shape is now centered on the page. If we get them together, right, this says that our shape is perfectly centered in the middle of the screen. But we don't want that necessarily, right? Because you're going to need to create this shape of a specific size. So if you drag it up to the left side of the screen, you'll notice again we get those red lines on the red side or the left side of the screen and red lines at the top. That tells us that this shape is now perfectly aligned with the left side of the screen and the top of the screen. Why are we doing this? Well, for this assignment, remember you're going to need to create a shape that is 9 inches wide by 3.5 inches tall. Right? So if we set this at 9, set that at 3.5, you'll notice I've got my little blue markers along the ruler there that are telling me where things are at. I let go and perfectly 9 inches, 3.5 inches. What you can do now, because you're saying, oh, this is not a cube, is if you right click on this shape, go down to change shape, you can change it now into a cube. And you, voila, click save and close. Now you have a shape that is perfectly ready to go. What you're going to want to do then is click the wrap text option here and change your margins to 0. If you do both of those things, that will allow you to drag the shape freely and, more importantly, will allow you to put other shapes on top of it. In addition, notice again we have those same red lines that allow us to center our text quick and easy. So keep an eye on those things. It will come in handy for you. With that done, what you're going to be doing for most of the rest of this assignment is inserting images. If we just use the basic inbound one, you'll notice I kind of did some background work for it to make sure everything was the same here. And we're going to be taking a look at, right, oops, close that on myself there. Pull that back open. We're looking at glasses with a transparent background. Why not just glasses? Well, let me show you. Let's get rid of this. Let's just look for glasses. Let's see. Oh, let's take a look at these. These look very nice. Let's add these glasses in. All right. So if we take a look at this glasses shape, hopefully this will work for me. Again, wrap text. Change your margins to 0. Drag it over their desk, right? Like we're going to set it on the desk. And notice, right, this is actually has a big old white background that doesn't fit very well with our desk. Oops, deleted the wrong shape here. Delete our glasses out of there. So let's go back into insert image again. We'll search the web. This time we're going to search for glasses without a background. Or let's go with a transparent background. Let's do it that way. That'll be easier. With a transparent. Notice Google's trying to help me there. It was. All right, transparent background. Let's use this one instead. Use this shape here. Insert. There we go. All right, it's kind of big, so let's make this 0 margins, wrap text, and let's make it smaller. Now, the thing that's a little bit tricky about all of these images, and you might have seen this in the previous assignment, is that Google assumes you want on top whatever object you last used. So for example, if you kind of click and drag this around, right, this eyeglasses will be on top, but if you click on the cube, right, and kind of move it around, notice that it takes over the eyeglasses thing. So I'm going to undo that real quick here. What I would recommend that you do is if you click on a shape, you can actually use the arrow keys on your keyboard to position it where you want it. If you notice that something's a little bit too big, like these glasses are still a bit too big, move it up out of the way a little bit, and now you can drag it back down there. So you notice we have this now eyeglasses shape there on the screen. Now, one of the last things that you need to do for this assignment is you're going to be inserting an image that you have to put a border to. My recommendation for this, that's all about, my recommendation for doing this is to go Insert, Drawing, New. And we're going to be inserting the frame shape. You notice it is right here. So go Insert Shape Frame. Now, for this assignment, they want you to make it 1 inch by 1 inch here. So line that up on the sides like we just did. Use our little blue line markers to tell us exactly where a 1 inch mark is. And we'll go Image. We're going to insert an image. Let's do a quick search for one. Let's do the sun. That seems fun. There, that looks good. Let's use that. So we'll insert that sun shape, and we're going to make it fit inside our frame. There we go. Oops, that's too big. Smaller, sun. Again, if things don't fit, make sure that you kind of resize them. Notice now our sun is perfectly centered inside that frame. It looks good with that. So again, I mean, you can change colors, background thicknesses, and the like there, but we'll go ahead and roll with this here. Again, so again, margin 0, wrap text. We should be good with that. Now we can move this with the arrow keys, and there we go, right? So everything now is set for that. That is pretty much all you have to do for this assignment, so you should be set, ready to start on it. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording and let you get to it.